Hey guys, it's Matt and it's Mentorship Monday. Thank you for watching. If you guys have real estate questions you'd like to submit for us to answer right here on the YouTube page, you want to email them to helpme@DeRosaGroup.com. That is helpme@DeRosaGroup.com, and we will answer them right here on the YouTube page for you guys to learn and for others to learn from as well. All right. So today's question comes from Diego. Diego, thank you for asking your question. Diego, I got to read some of this. Diego owns a duplex. He's going to make some renovations. Foundations that need a repair, and the house is nearly 100 years old. God bless you. I've done a lot of renovations on older property. I'm sure some of you guys watching have as well. So Diego, just a little bit of advice, make sure that there's no more knob and tube in the house. It's old wiring that they did way back in the day. It's pretty much a fire hazard these days. So check your wiring to make sure it's been updated in the last, say, 15 years or so, right? What Diego likes about the property, which I like too, is close to downtown and next to the football stadium that will be torn down to make room for a major development of condos, retail, and commercial. So great proximity, Diego. Good news. The property is currently separately metered for electricity for the tenants. That's great. You guys want to watch your utility bills for properties and make sure that if you can get them separately metered into the tenants' names, that's great, because landlord-paid utilities are not only more expensive for you, but it's going to cause variability and unpredictable things. The tenant's using a ton of electricity one month or a ton of heating or whatever it may be for you which will throw off your expenses. So great, Diego, that's tenant paid electric. Each unit has in-suite laundry. It's a good thing. That's a value, although that is going to increase your water expenses. You'll typically have better tenants that'll stay for longer if you have laundry in the units. You don't have to go to a laundromat off-site. Let's see. You're talking about doing replacing the heat or separating the heat to the tenants. Great news. If you can do it without having to add extra meters, if the gas meters are already on site, that should be a no-brainer. If you're going to have to deal with the local utility to add more gas meters, can be a headache. Here we are in New Jersey, the utility is not the most cooperative, so can be a headache in adding an additional meter, but it is, again, to my comment before, great to add additional utilities to put on the tenants, like heat and stuff like that. It's a great thing to look into if you can do it. So Diego, I recommend you do that, and to you other guys watching, separate as much utilities as you can, especially heat, because heat can really kill you in the wintertime if you're in the Northeast like we are. So Diego's just looking for some feedback on his deal in general. Looks like he's paying $140K for the property for a duplex. So if that's a good number in your neighborhood, great. I don't know where you are geographically, so if $140K is a good number for a duplex, congrats. He's going to pay another $61,000 in renovation, so he's going to be into it for just over $200,000 plus whatever carrying costs you have while you're under renovation. And that carrying cost could be stuff like taxes and interest if you're borrowing the money from a private lender or whatever. He's going to make, he says, potential cash flow. I'm assuming that means potential rent of $22,600 per year. That's a great rent roll. If that's cash flow, that's off the charts fantastic to make on a duplex. I find that hard to believe you're making that on a duplex in cash flow. So let's assume that's rental income. That's on the 1% rule. It gets talked about a lot. So what that means is you're going to be fully invested around $200,000. If I take that full investment of $200K and I multiply it by 1%, that's going to come out to be around $2,000 that you should be making per month in rent. Okay, so $200,000 multiplied by 1% should equal about your monthly revenue or monthly rent if you're on the 1% rule. The 1% rule is a bottom baseline you should not go below. What I try and target for my investments is a 1.5 to a 2% rule. Okay, so for Diego, you got a good deal. It's not a bad deal, but I think that what you allude to here is about about a potential appreciation because of this football deal that they're doing and the neighborhood you're in and stuff like that. So you're probably going to make more of your money on appreciation versus cash flow. I predict you're going to make somewhere, if you have outside management, somewhere between $300 to $400 a month in total cash flow on the property, based on the numbers you sent me. Just total prediction, but I bet you I'm not too far off. So for all you other guys, use that 1% rule. Make sure you consider that when you're buying property. So that should be the bottom you should go to, but try and strive for the 1.5 to 2% rule. And the reason, if you should go with the 1% rule, you should be in a situation like Diego's in, where there's potential appreciation for other developments that are happening. What Diego wants to do here, he wants to refinance, again, further in the email, Diego wants to refinance the property to potentially buy more properties down the road. The one thing I'll caution you on, Diego, and for other you guys that are banking on appreciation, it's probably going to happen for Diego because it looks like there's other developments that are way larger than his project that are happening there, but you can't guarantee when appreciation, that when that wave is going to hit your property value. So Diego, you're probably not going to refi and pull that money and pull 100K out to go buy a 4-unit in 6 months. Maybe it's not going to happen. Might happen a year or 2 or 3 from now. But the lesson for all you guys to take home is appreciation is a good thing to predict and to hope that you're going to get. But number one, never buy a property that negative cash flows just because you think appreciation is going to come at some point in the future. And number two, don't bank on exactly when appreciation is going to hit, because you just don't know. Especially if it's on other factors like other developments and a wave of regentrification coming through your neighborhood, it's going to hit you at some point. But don't bank on it hitting you at a specific time because you just don't know. Okay, so Diego, thank you for your question. Good luck on your duplex. It sounds like you got a winner there that's going to go up in value over time. Just don't bank on exactly when that's going to happen. If you guys have questions you want to submit to us, email them to helpme@DeRosaGroup.com. That's helpme@DeRosaGroup.com, and you can submit them here to the YouTube page. Just a reminder to you guys, if you want to hear more about what DeRosa Group's up to, be sure to subscribe to our newsletter. There should be a button at the top here, the YouTube page, to subscribe to our newsletter. We send that out once a month, and you'll hear all kinds of cool stuff that DeRosa Group's doing, including investment opportunities that we have and this and that. So please check that out. Thank you as always for watching, guys, and have a great and profitable week.